Good morning, everyone. We're starting the Pranic Festival online. We're very happy to have you with us in this morning. For us, it's still morning time, noontime here in Romania. And we're happy to see you. We're going to take a moment to make sure Tianyin is joining in. Tianyin is a beautiful Qigong master, Chinese Qigong master living in Germany. You have all the details of her bio on our festival page, and she's going to join us and share her wisdom in just a few moments. In the meantime, while we get in touch with her, we invite you to center in your heart and have a beautiful time with us today. So for those of you who don't know yet, the Pranic Festival is a gathering of the masters, all the ones who are nourished by light, chi, or prana are invited to have a meeting with us during these 5 days. So we're going to be together from March 3rd to March 8th into this festival. And masters who are nourished by prana, energy, or chi from all over the world are joining us and are talking about their techniques, their practices. We're meditating together. It's going to be a wonderful time. What we invite you to do during this time is to keep an eye on your emails so that you make sure that you receive all our details, because we're going to update the schedule day by day. There are still speakers coming in, confirming. And keep an eye on your emails, and soon we're going to also create a WhatsApp group so that you can have the WhatsApp group notifications every day about our schedule. In the meantime, while Tianyin is still joining, I'm going to give a big thanks to our friend Christian here, who is translating this conference from German to English. And we're really grateful for his help. Christian has been with us in most of the Pranic festivals, online and live. So he's very accustomed to the energy of Tianyin, and he has been translating for her very often. There's a comment section on the page, on the video page that you're watching now. So I'm going to make sure that you all can see this chat box that we have there. If you can see it, if you've spotted your chat box, the place where you can ask questions and make comments, just type yes so that we know that you've spotted that in the page of the Pranic Festival online, the page that you've received on Zoom. If you're watching on YouTube now, you can also on YouTube use the comment sections, which is below the video if you're on smartphone, or next to the video if you're on laptop. You can use that comment section to be with us. And so in a moment, Tianyin is going to be joining in. I'm looking forward for your questions. If you haven't read Tianyin's bio, maybe go on our festival page and read it. It's at the link of soulhealingacademy.com/events. So there you can find Tianyin's biography and the details about her, and you can learn who she is and what her practices are. She's going to also present herself, of course, but you can learn who she is, what her practices are, and you can see what you can ask about her. For those of you asking if it's 12 a.m., yes, it is 12 a.m. 12 p.m., sorry, 12 p.m. Bucharest time. I have just placed our events link in the comments on the festival page, on the video page, so you can watch there the bios of all the speakers. So go on that link on our Pranic Festival online page, and you can see Tianyin's bio in the meantime. For some reason, Tianyin hasn't joined yet. I'm gonna just make a call with her and see what's going on, and maybe she's having trouble connecting or something. And in the meantime, we invite you to center in your hearts and see the details about the speaker and prepare your questions. Are there any questions you want to know about Qigong or energy work or pranic nourishment or anything in that area? The state of Biku, if you're familiar with it, is the state of the Chinese masters and the Asian masters of the Wudang Mountains that they were practicing, to attain higher levels of enlightenment, but also to be in the state of being nourished from source, the state of having pranic nourishment. And this is what Tianyin is talking about. This is what she's practiced since 93. She has had a specific practice of intaking qi through some exercises. And since 93, she hasn't been needing to take physical food. So she's been nourished by prana. That does not mean that she has never eaten ever since. Just she's had this state for several years. She has cured a very powerful illness of herself. And then she has started to have an alternate form of nourishment. So she is nourished by prana, but also she can take physical food whenever she chooses. So she's gonna talk more about this, but you can also ask her whatever questions you feel to ask. In the meantime, I'm gonna pause the video just for a second to be able to get in touch with her and see if she needs any help with connecting on Zoom. And you're invited to center in your hearts and start breathing and start with a brief meditation, tuning into this energy of the festival, this global energy that we're building together here. And this is more than just an online event that you watch from the comfort of your home. It's actually an activation of a planetary energy upgrade that we're doing together. So thank you all for participating. Thank you for taking your role in this and contributing to this with your presence and with your beauty and fantastic energy. And try to imagine the planet and the planetary grid like literally lighting up while we're speaking, while we're joining together. So every day we're joining together around 11 or 12 noon time, and also around the evening time of 7, 8, or 9 each day, depending on the speaker's schedule. And you can be with us morning and evening for this energy upgrade in the live streaming. If you can't join the live streaming, you can also watch the recordings, and you have all the details on our festival page on our website. You have all the details of how to get the recordings, either a specific recording of a speaker that you like, or all the recordings of the festival for lifetime access. The live streaming is available for only 24 hours. So only for 24 hours, you're able to watch this. And then, of course, it's going to change every day. And if you need the recordings, you can book them at the link on our events page. So I'm taking a short 5 or 2 minutes break just to get in touch with Kuan Yin and help her connect. And then I'm going to be back with you. And in the meantime, just do a brief meditation together, tuning into this pranic energy of the Pranic Festival online. Thank you for being here. So everyone, thank you for waiting. The conference with Tianyin has been moved for March 8th, which is the same time at 12 p.m. Bucharest time. But we're really happy to have you with us. And I'm going to start with my conference since this one has been moved. It's unexpected for me, yet I'm really happy to be with you and have this beginning. I was trying to move my conference for the 8th because I thought to end with my conference. It seems it's necessary to begin with my conference for some reason. So Christian, thank you for being with us. Thank you for your help. If you want, of course, you can stay with us, and hopefully you're going to be joining on Monday, March 8th for the translation of Tianyin. And now we're beginning the conference about the pranic world and pranic realities that I have prepared for you. So everyone who's joining, please make yourself comfortable and start following your breath. We're going to start with a brief meditation today. And I'm going to just share with you the experience, practices, and life path that I've been having on this pranic journey. So thank you for your understanding and patience. In a second, I'm preparing all technology for this thing. This is very familiar to us in pranic festivals because the pranic reality is really volatile and interesting. And our speakers are really, really busy people, all of us are. So things are shifting from one moment to another really, really quick. This is beautiful to watch. And if you're having any issues with seeing the streaming, please let me know. If you have any sound issues or anything like this, please let me know, because I see somebody asking about the streaming. So I'm just wanting to make sure that everybody is hearing and seeing us well. So please type yes in your comments if you can hear and see us. Thank you so much for your answers. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, the ones on Facebook, Zoom, everywhere else. Yes, so if anyone has difficulties in watching the streaming on the Pranic Festival page, watch on YouTube. Maybe your device is not compatible with our page or something is happening. In our end, we see it really, really well, and the people we're connected with are seeing it really well. So I hope it works for you. And if not, you can watch the YouTube playing, which is also a solution. If you missed the first part of this talk, we were saying that the Tianyin conference has just moved for March 8th, and now we're having the conference that I was supposed to hold on March 8th. We just moved it between each other. So today we're going to talk about the pranic journey and the pranic practices that I've had and the interesting, fantastic people that I've met on this journey. So my conference, which was Planetary Energy Upgrade and was supposed to be on 8th, is happening today. And Tianyin's conference is happening on March 8th at 12 p.m. This is a shift of plans that has just happened now. And I was saying that in Pranic world, this is, very common that we shift things really quickly. And I'm saying to people all the time that before aiming to be a breatharian, it's best to aim to be a flexitarian, which means really flexible, very, ready to change at any point and ready to embrace new realities, new possibilities, new ways of being. And yes, the ones of you who are watching on YouTube, I want to make sure that you can hear and see me. So please let me know in your comments if your streaming is okay on YouTube. We've just placed it on YouTube as well, just to make sure that that you're seeing that. So thank you everyone again for joining the Pranic Festival online. Thank you for being with us. Really, really happy to connect with you. I'm sure you've been excited and waiting for this journey. And therefore, I'm really happy to be with you today. I will be really happy to hear your questions about the pranic journey, pranic nourishment, and anything on prana, because this is the topic of today. What you want to learn about breatharianism, what you want to hear about this reality that is sometimes challenging for some of the people I know. Some others, though, are really, really open to it and are aware that there are different layers of reality, different layers of energy and consciousness, and therefore different layers of nourishment for each person. So sometimes people are, getting into this state naturally. They just happen to feel that they're not hungry, that they're not requiring any physical food. They happen to feel that their body is nourished in a different way. So they start to take less and less food naturally, and they get into this pranic state mainly by spiritual or energy practice. Most of them, they just feel that while they're meditating more or practicing qigong or yoga or breath work or pranayam or falun dafa or any spiritual practice that is including body work, their necessity for food is decreasing, and they're having this fantastic shift in their bodies. And many people are asking me now, naturally, when we bring up pranic nourishment, they're asking me, why they're feeling this, if it's okay for their children to be in this state, because children coming in now, they're more and more nourished in this way. They're asking me if it's okay for older people to maybe decrease their food intake because to them it naturally happens. So they're asking me all these questions, and I've been on this pranic journey for more than 10 years now. I've been in a spiritual practice since I was a child. I've had my English teacher in taking private lessons when I was a child, and she was also teaching me about crystals and some parts of spirituality, also numerology, also art, all these things that are amazingly beautiful and are showing the beauty of creation, the beauty of universal force, the beauty of God, if you will. So all this for me has been the beginning of lifting the veils in the energy work and on my pranic path. And I've been learning about it and studying about it quite a lot when I was a child, until the age of 19 or 20, when I first started, to have a job and to learn in the university So both these things in parallel have kind of hijacked me from the energy work and meditation path and all that. And for 10 years, I've been going after a career, and I've been going after the human accomplishments, so to speak. And forgot about meditation, forgot about breath work, forgot about the science, the spiritual science that I've been studying. Because forgetting about it has been a little unbalancing to me, I had to get back to it when I was 27. So at the age of around 27 or 28, I had this leap in my life. You know, my health was not going very great. My career was going good, but my family wasn't really happy. So I had to search for answers. I had to search for solutions. And I ended up back on my initial path of searching in the spiritual realm. So I started working with energy again. I started to take spirituality and healing classes. I've started to go into the unseen realms in order to find my balance. That has brought me a lot of help and a lot of hope, because I've started seeing and perceiving things that weren't visible to the naked eye. And I've started to have this peek into the infinity of the possibilities that are available in this creation, in this realm that we're dwelling in. So because I was already having these insights when I first heard that there were people in this world that are nourished by prana, chi, life force without the necessity of taking physical food. And the first person I've heard about was Jasmine. I was really amazed and enthusiastic and truly believing that this is possible and attainable. So I was sure that this is not a hoax. I was sure that this is really something that we all could touch. You know, this is a reality that we could all have. And I was sure that with practice, what breatharian people are saying can be true. I'm emphasizing on the term with practice, because without practice, if you stop eating, you might die. So when we present Pranic festivals, when we present Pranic conferences, and when we present breatharian speakers, we're always making sure for you to know that you must have a daily practice, you must have energy knowledge, you have to tune into the invisible realm, if you want, to get access to this state. If you just stop eating and expect to somehow magically stop having hunger or be nourished in a different way, you know, many people have harmed themselves by doing that. And also they have some other people, they have harmed themselves into the egoic search for this state. You know, they have try to master it mentally. You know, if I'm gonna impose my will, if I'm gonna be focused and determined, I'm gonna attain it. And to them, it hasn't been this way, because it's not about determination, it's not about focus, it's not about that, you know, goal-driven masculine energy that we're used to. It's about the sweet, soft, allowing and letting go of the feminine energy. And that is exactly why we have decided to have this conference in the specific time of the year. We have decided to have this conference now because this is the beginning, at least in our hemisphere, it's the beginning of the spring season. It's the beginning of the rebirth and the reconfiguration of nature. Everything is streaming, everything is unfolding now, everything is coming anew, and this is the feminine energy coming in, right? So These are the days where we connect to this energy more and more. We dive into the state of flow. We dive into the state of allowing and beauty and harmony. And we start to imbue into this divine energy that can actually balance and nourish us all. So that's why we've chosen this specific time, as I was saying. And this time of springing of feminine energy is very helpful, very encouraging, very supportive if you want to start a new path, or if you want to change, shift something in your life, you know. This is where we are fully supported to ditch the old and encourage the new. This is where we're getting new insights and helpful tools, or even helpful people, right, on our path, that are encouraging our transformation. So this is when we're actually bringing you all these new people with a very, very high energy and consciousness state to encourage you or give you tips and insights and practices for you to leap into the shift if you're ready and if you're open. And when we're saying this shift, we're not referring to necessarily give up food. This is not what we're encouraging necessarily with this festival. We're encouraging a shift in consciousness. We're encouraging diving deeper into a state of trust, into a state of allowing, into a state of discovering new possibilities and new ways of being. We're encouraging diving deeper into seeking for the truth, and not necessarily in spiritual books or Bibles, but into your heart. That's what we're going to open up during this festival. That's what we're going to allow, or open up to bring for you. And this is what we're going to talk about also today. So let's take a deep breath before we go into deeper into the subject, and let me know if you have questions so far. So this whole festival is going to be really interactive. This is our goal, to have it really interactive, really like a dialogue between us, you know. We don't want to just speak here about what we think would be useful for you. We want to speak about exactly what you need. So let me know in your comments if you have any questions so far. What are your goals and expectations for these festivals? What are you aiming to learn or find out from us? So type in your comments, type your questions, type your, if it's anything you feel to add or ask. Let me know where you're from, maybe, first of all, because we're so used to having you in front of us. We're so used to being in a room full of people and having these fantastic gatherings with all of you in front of us. So now that we're online, let's make it interactive. So those of you on YouTube and on our video page, just type in the comments where you're from, you know, which is your city or place, you know, where are you connecting from? So that we tune into the whole planetary grid together. And if you're on our video page and you see our video, please type yes in the comments. I'm just checking if everybody can see it, because on our end it is visible. I'm just making sure that it's also visible on your end. And yeah, let us know what you're about, right? Where are you from? Where are you watching from? And what's your status with this participation here now? What do you want to learn? What do you want to ask us? What do you want to know? about this Pranic festival, specifically about our journey, or about breatharianism in general, or energy work? What is field of interest in this gathering? So thank you, Heike, for being with us. I'm really happy to hear your questions, apart from the technical ones, and everyone else who's present as well. I see people from Finland, Turkish people, and I'm seeing that you can actually see us on our video page. I'm really happy to hear that. Okay. And I was telling you that 10 years ago, I first learned about the possibility of being nourished by prana. I was in a conference in Bucharest, and there was this beautiful lady talking about breatharianism. My feeling was that this can be true and this can be real. And I had a beautiful heart-opening moment to watch her speak about it. In the next few years, I haven't specifically aimed to become a breatharian or to become a people that is nourished by light, chi, or prana. That has not been my goal. My goal has been and always is to stay connected to source, to stay grounded, and to stay in alignment with the universal force or divine energy. That's where my search started. As I went to various teachers and classes, I've learned that everything is actually streaming from within. And it was like on my journey, on my path, all my questions were answered as soon as they were beginning to develop inside myself. So there was such a magical thing to discover that whenever we have necessity or a true call in our heart, were actually instantly answered by the universe. I have met great people on my path. I have met fantastic breatharians, and some of them you're gonna see in these future conferences tomorrow and the day after tomorrow and until the 8th of March. And I've had fantastic experiences. One of the most fulfilling and elating ones was when I met Prahlad Jani, the yogi who is nourished by chi, prana, or life force since for 75 years. He has been nourished by prana without the need of taking food or water for 75 years. And he has had this fantastic journey of living in a cave in India and healing people just with his presence and with his emanation. We've had a great encounter last year around this time in India, in a pyramid there where we had the Pranic festival in March. He has traveled for 12 hours to be with us, and he has held a conference there in India for the guests that we had in this festival. In the next few moments, I'm going to just offer you a few images with him, because this, for me, has been one of the most representative, the most iconic figures or characters in the breatharianism path, and one of the most authentic ones. Unfortunately, has left his body right after we have met. So in April or May last year, he has left his body. So the conference we had together was the last conference he has offered and the last darshan he has offered. In a few moments, I'm going to share my screen and present him to you and present our encounter with him. Prahlad Jani has been tested in hospitals by Dr. Sudhir Shah, the head of the of a very important medical hospital in Ahmedabad. He has been tested for 10 days in the beginning and then 14 days a little later at the request of the Ministry of Defense. So all his body functions were monitored in hospital with 35 specialists with maximum security, CCTV, and all this surveillance. He has not been allowed to have any food or water, nor he has attempted to, but the surveillance he had wasn't allowing any fraudulent attempt to take food or water. And during these two studies, his body functions were perfectly harmonious. He has shown a really healthy, really young body, though his demeanor was of an older person. He has even proven something strange, liquid was being formed in his bladder, and then he was resorbing it. So without going to the bathroom, the liquid in his bladder would disappear, which has shown his capacities of dematerializing and rematerializing, the mind over matter, if you will. And it was a great experience to meet this yogi and to be in his presence and to feel his energy. And in the next few moments, before we continue with our dialogue, I'm going to present him to you so that you can have a touch of this energy. So this is Pralajani. And this is our encounter in India.
You feel
In this video, I was testing his chakras.
both heart.
He has two hearts, yes.
Yes.
Heart married. And that's Shiva.
Siv.
No room for it. Two hearts.
Two hearts. One of the Siv and one of the Sakti.
Shiv Shakti बोलते हैं ना.
So always change your life and start being deeper into alignment with your divine self, and from there your body is. This is the memories, the beautiful memories that we had with Pralachani. He is one of the most beautiful, most highly energized people that I've met in the breatharian world. And in that video, he had invited me to test his chakras, because being a sensitive and being an energy worker, I can actually feel or sense people's energy from a distance or from a close encounter like that was. And he has also invited me to test on the roof of his mouth the place where Amrita was flowing in his body. So the thing you saw that I was doing with my hand was to test and actually check where Amrita was flowing in his body. So the reason why he didn't need physical food at all, it was that he actually had a constant flow of divine nectar or divine energy or divine prana, the pranic energy into his body in a constant way. And this is what you were witnessing in that video. I had a beautiful experience of having some teachings conveyed to me by him, including teachings about immortality and teachings of how to be able to stop your breath or your heart for a longer time. I haven't attempted to stop my heart just yet. It just stops when necessary. But just know that in this breatharian world, everything is possible. Some of my colleagues are able to shape shift or dematerialize, rematerialize their bodies. Some of them are bilocating very easily or transferring their energy into another body. It's an amazing journey to be in, and the people I'm meeting every year are fabulous on this journey, because once you master nourishment or the pranic energy and the flow of it in your body, the matter is no longer an obstacle or is no longer what you would call hard matter. Everything is malleable, everything is easy to work with, everything is fluid to one's perception. And this has been my perception for a long time now, because I've had quite interesting experiences myself with this pranic reality. So initially I've had a lot of misalignments in my body, 10 years ago. The ability, the rapidity of how my body would heal and transform was the first thing that has amazed me. Then I had been confronted with really strong emotions on my path, in my relationships, in my family, and so on. And over the years, as I got more and more into this cosmic connection, I found that there are more and easier and easier to handle, up to this point where I feel really in a state of detachment. I feel really in a state of elation most of the time, or happiness most of the time. And I'm saying this especially now that we're in a very challenging time on the planet, and I've had challenging experience with it as well. My state throughout this past year has been really, really great, and I'm really in a state of awe and gratitude of what this pranic path can offer, because of the way we can handle our mind and our emotions. Along the years, I've also witnessed my body become more and more flexible and even younger and healthier than 10 years ago. My sleep rates have decreased. My intuition has become much stronger. My healing work has become much more powerful. I also work as a healer, as a therapist with the soul healing therapy, which refers to reconnecting people to their soul, to their divine essence, and then reprogramming their whole life and all their issues from there. So when somebody comes to me with a situation, with an issue in their life, we just go to the root cause of it. We connect the person and realign it back to the source energy. And then from that center, from that soul center, we shift all the programs and the patterns that have created that reality. So in my work, it is amazing to notice how malleable reality is, how easy it is to work with mind and subconscious and reprogram the whole thing into newness, how easy the blockages in the body can shift just by shifting your perception or your mind. And along the pranic path, as my diet got lighter, as my emotions got clearer, my work got stronger on this path, on this healing path, because it's not me doing the work, but it's just a matter of how strongly I can stay connected with source, with universal energy, who does all the clearing. So this is what I'm grateful for, for being on this pranic path. Apart from the fabulous people that I'm meeting all the time and the fantastic realities that I'm getting in touch with that have expanded my perception a lot during this past 10 years, I've always had the feeling, that we're energy. I've always had the feeling that everything is energy, that everything that is dense and apparently unbreakable is actually made of teeny pieces of light or energy or molecules and atoms, as science calls it. And I've always had the feeling that we can work with this reality as if we would work with soap bubbles, you know, it's so easy to shift, enhance, contract, dematerialize them, you know, and it is the same with our life when we become malleable and flexible and lighter, right? And this has been my experience now for most of these 10 years. Of course, there has been also challenging moments. There have been moments of mistrust. There have been moments where people have questioned my path, including some of my family, but also the people hearing me in my conferences. It's not easy to talk of a reality that is shifting all paradigms, right? We've all been taught that we need to eat 3 meals a day and 3 snacks in between to be able to be healthy and happy. And here we are all of a sudden saying to people that, yeah, you actually can eat lighter and you actually can eat non-animal products, and you actually can eat, have smoothies and juices and soups all day and still be healthy and happy. You can still function. And if you don't believe me, just look at the 30 or 50 other people that we're bringing on stage to exemplify that. You know, this is a challenging way to live. It's a challenging reality to present. And there's been, of course, layers of distrust that have surrounded me over time. But also over time, they have been proven to not be sustainable, to not be true, if you will. And the truth has prevailed because more and more colleagues of mine are now coming you know, to the surface, or coming into this Pranic stage, and are talking about what they experience. More and more are able to demonstrate that. Some of them have been tested, some of them are now ready and open to be tested. We've created a group of scientists. Now we're just talking on WhatsApp, but soon we're hoping to also have research on this field. They have done their own research, their own private studies on this, and we're going to continue to, you know, stay in touch and build this group to be able to bring awareness, you know, on this Pranic journey. And so science is opening more and more to this reality. So now in this group, we have cardiologists and neurologists and geneticists and physicists like Nassim Armim, and doctors of all sorts and other scientists that are joining, and they are supporting and understanding the idea that yes, it is the possibility for us to be nourished by quantum field or source or the energy field. So in the next few moments, I'm going to also present one of my friends, Nassim Aramim, in one of our talks where he refers to breatharianism and explains it, just for you to get an idea of how the science is approaching this subject, this topic. And also for the ones who are into reading, you can look at this book that we've written. It's called the Pranic World Book, and it's talking about all the things that have so far been discovered in the scientific world regarding pranic nourishment or energy nourishment, right? All the studies that we refer to in this book haven't been created to refer to pranic nourishment specifically, but they have led to eventually discovering an unidentified source of energy that was nourishing the people in the studies. So NASA studies have proven that there's actually 8 to 25% unidentified energy in a human body, in a normal person that doesn't do any spiritual practice. There have been studies made with NASA suits for calorimetry, and while calorimetry has been tested, there has been discovered this extra energy that people were having in their bodies, the energy that was not coming from food, it was not coming from external sources, yet the body was processing it and nobody could tell where it's coming from. We, in the holistic world, we call that prana. And then if in a normal person, they have documented 8 to 25% of this energy, imagine how much it can be in a person that has done energy work, in a person that has practiced all this energy intake practices, in a person that is diligently on his path focusing on the source energy. Imagine how much it can be in such a person. We have had classes where you can actually test your pranic percentage. You can check how much you are nourished by energy and how much you're nourished by food. We've had classes where we discovered that along the practice, people were actually increasing their pranic percentage or the percentage where they were nourished by food. So in my experience of the past 10 years, I've seen fantastic shifts happening in the consciousness of people when witnessing this reality and when working with energy. And since 2013, I'm actually teaching one of these classes, or pranic processes as we call them, where for 8 days we put people through 1 hour and a half of talks and meditations and practices each day, and their pranic level increases, their mind opens to new possibilities, their consciousness is more expanded, their energy is uplifted, and at the end of the 8 days their life changes, and now that we're not having so many live encounters during the pandemic, we've done it online almost every month, and you can find it on our website under the name of Pranic Process Online. And you can actually participate in one this March. We're starting soon to have this Pranic Process Online, and one around the 18th of March, we start the new one. So with these classes, I've been allowed to or permitted to discover new realities of how people are functioning, how they can upgrade their energy, how it is exponentially rising with each day of practice. And it has been confirmed to me that even, common people with no previous energy practice are able to attain a pranic state. When we talk about attaining a pranic state, we're not talking about not ever eating again. I want to just clarify this for everyone. We're not talking about not eating again. We're talking about decreasing your food intake and increasing your energy intake so that you can reduce your food intake to 50% or even 25% of what you were eating before. So you can still keep your pleasures, your delight, your tasty things, but you can be or become aware that it is not them that are nourishing you, and that you are nourished by a higher source or by higher energy. So that's what we talk about when you talk about pranic consciousness or increasing the or pranic nourishment, not necessarily dropping food completely. We're talking about having an alternate source of nourishment and being confident that it is nourishing you. So who is ready for that? Who would like to try that? Who would like to be nourished in this way and be more connected and more energized? I would love to know your intake on this. And in the meantime, I'm also seeing lots of questions. I see someone saying, thanks for providing this platform. I'm seeing Linda from India also being here. I'm seeing Aniela. Thanks for joining us. Heike says, I'm feeling really bad after a day of dry fast. How to overcome this? Thank you for your question. I'm going to refer to this in a second. Hello, I'm Kamashi from Dubai. Very excited to know how to control food habits and move towards breatharianism. Somebody's asking, I have successfully completed the last year Navratri 9 days fasting, even though having other rituals. So yes, last year we supported a group of India that has had the Navratri in India. This is a feast where they worship goddess Durga, the main goddess of feminine energy in Hindu tradition. And the director of Pyramid Society, the Pyramid Society is a global pyramid society that has built meditation pyramids all over the world, has invited me to support this group with a webinar and with an energy practice for the 9 days fasting. So they've had this webinar at the beginning of their fasting time, and then they've stayed with their teacher for 9 days. And many of them have reported that with 9 days of juice fasting, they have actually felt great and had beautiful energy and had wonderful experiences with this Navratri fasting ritual. So thank you for being here and thank you for testifying on this. I'm really happy to have you here, Kamashi from Dubai. I don't know if I have any issues. Is there anything to forgive? How to know? We're gonna refer to this more in the next sessions with the people who are gonna talk about emotions a lot, you know, because forgiveness is a state of an emotional state, and there's some release to be doing there. And we can also have private session, Heike, where you can dive deeper into this pattern and look at what it is for you to forgive and how you can do this, because this is a very personal question and I can't really give a general answer to it. You know, you're asking me to do an energy reading to you specifically, and I'm focusing on a whole group of hundreds of people now. But we can talk about this later, of course, in a private session. To detect energy blockages is naturally feeling, you can naturally feel them in your body. Normally they feel like pain if they're already in the physical, but to most people, they can also feel an unease, you know, in their body, or a tension in their auric field, or tension in their gut also, and that indicates, or a headache or something like that, or a blockage in their throat, that indicates normally an energy blockage in their field. So thank you so much for your question. Somebody says, yes, I want to be part of this process of energy upgrade. We're going to send you the details soon. Somebody is asking me if I'm reading. No, I'm downloading energy. I'm actually channeling source energy while speaking. I'm not reading something. I'm just streaming what comes. You know, I had no idea that I was going to hold this conference today. So nothing has been prepared. All that I'm speaking now is pure download. Thank you for your question. And something about, you know, your girlfriend must be Pranic. She must be, if she's not needing to eat. I don't know. Going back to the question of how to feel better after a dry fast, I'm really careful and cautious into recommending dry fasting in general, because dry fasting is quite shocking for the body. And if you start with a dry fast, you might end with a migraine or powerful discomfort altogether. Therefore, I highly recommend that people take it gradually when they head to fasting or pranic nourishment. I recommend that that you start with a detox in general. Physical detox is highly recommended. So start, cleaning your gut system, decreasing the food intake first, remove animal products for a while in your diet for at least a month, so that the gut system can clean, first remove the meat and then all the dairy and eggs and other products. In parallel, you can do a detox with various plants, like specific herbal teas that are clearing the gut system or the liver. You can use sauerkraut juice to remove all these toxic waste deposits in your colon. If you drink 1 or 2 cups of sauerkraut juice in the evening, you're going to have a nice home cleanse, for your gut system. Use basil tea or tulsi tea daily to clean and energize your digestive organs. Start using superfoods, like the ones that are clearing the heavy metals, like chlorella or spirulina. They are clearing the heavy metals in your body. So start doing a detox for at least 1 or 2 weeks or even a month, before going into water fasting and dry fasting. Start with juice fasting first, because juice is also detoxing and clearing your body. We drink a lot of pineapple juice, pineapple, coriander, parsley, chili. It's good vitamin C boost, and it's also good in detoxing. When people go straight to water fasting and dry fasting, it's really, really hard for them to put up with it. And they really feel heaviness and discomfort and headaches or gut aches and all that stuff, because really it's not easy to go and to go from a quite toxic body environment to see a boost, and it's also completely dry fast. There's too much to burn, there's too much to transmute, and that's why we recommend it people to take it gradually. If you go directly to water fast and dry fast, you're gonna say it's not good for you, it's not efficient, and you're not gonna want to do it again because you didn't know how to do it in the first place. So that's what I recommend. Somebody says, I feel dry fast is better than water fast. I say it might be better to some and it might be worse to others. If you're having kidney problems, we don't recommend dry fast ever. We don't recommend staying without liquids, really, because it can aggravate that. And that's important to know before starting a dry fast. So really grateful for your questions. You make a good point. More methods of detox you find in this book. We've talked about detoxing at physical level with the methods that I've used, detox at the emotional level, which is the next level, which is also useful when you want to fast, and detox at the mental level. If you tend to be a person who is over fidgeting, over agitating, distrusting, trying to control everything, it's going to be hard to all of a sudden go into a no food diet, because your body is going to emotionally challenge you a lot. If you learn to tame your mind and clear your emotions, and in the process also decrease your food intake, it's going to be easier for you to eventually move into this state of needing less food or fasting for longer times and so on. So in this book you find details about it, and if you want to go deeper into this, join the Pranic process online, where we really help people detox at all levels and go to extended times of fasting without any difficulties. Some have healed themselves from the virus as well. You can check the testimonial areas on our website and see there the benefits of this process. And so many people have changed their lives because they've learned the futility of overeating, right? we haven't taught them how to stop eating, but we've made them aware of the futility of overeating, of the reason. We've made them aware of the reasons of why they were eating. We've made people aware of how to deal with the binging and the craving tendencies, and how to work with their energy in such a way that they don't have that anymore. They don't have so much cravings, and they don't have the tendency to binge in specific foods. So this is what we're doing at home online as practice. And you have the link to this process in the comments of the video page, and also of the YouTube page that you're watching on. So this is something you can do for yourself, or gift yourself, to be able to transition easier to extended times of fasting, or even a pranic nourishment. I'm seeing so many of you preparing new questions, so I'm inviting you to prepare new questions. I stay with you for another 15 minutes just because we want to offer you a longer session for the beginning of this festival. In the meantime, I was promising you a brief video with a friend of mine who is a scientist and physicist and has studied and been in a breatharian journey. So I will present you this short video, this his explanation, so that you can have also the scientific perspective of it. So let me see which video is shorter. I think this one will prepare for you.
I mean, all.
This is a fragment from an interview I've had with Nassim Haramein during the Pranic Consciousness Summit in 2017, I believe. The Pranic Consciousness Summit is another online platform with interviews with more than 30 breatharian people, where I've asked specific questions about pranic nourishment, about their journey, about their challenges, about their family and relationship patterns in this pranic path. So this is what you can find also on our website. The Pranic Consciousness Summit has been ongoing for several years, and we've gathered many interviews and conferences there as well. So I'm going to just stream this brief talk of Nassim during the summit, and maybe some other short video right after, so that I will give you an insight on the science view of it. And in the meantime, just make sure you bring new questions to the table, maybe after watching this.
All the energy we extract was given to us by nature, whether it's, you know, hydroelectric or nuclear or coal or oil or whatever we use, it was given to us. Well, you know, there's deeper level of energies in the universe that are as well present that we can utilize. We have to learn that lesson now, because otherwise we're just not gonna make it.
And we know there were people, maybe even 5,000 years ago, that were speaking of it, people who have known science in a different way, maybe through meditation or other journeys that they had without scientific demonstrations. They were capable of extracting that energy out of vacuum. What's your opinion about that? Is the human system capable of doing this without any device or machine?
Yes,
No?
I think the body and consciousness is actually evidence that it's doing it every second. It's doing it every blank second. It you know, your consciousness and the organization in your body is, you know, the body is a carnal engine. Like it produces significant amount of heat continuously, 24/7. You know, it's extracting it from food, but actually, if you So you're putting atoms in your body, this fuel, but actually if you add the numbers, it doesn't quite add up, in fact, and I think you've had other researchers on your in your conference that talk about that. There was a book written by physicists that showed that actually it doesn't quite add up. You can't account all the thermodynamic and energy dynamics of the body just by the amount of food that's being put in. So it actually, and then you have all these, these masters that have talked about being able to levitate, being able to arrest eating, stop eating, in some case even stop drinking, and so on, and feed and fed directly on this fundamental field. And I don't see, I see a direct path in the physics for that to be true. I think it's totally already happening, and it's just a question of increasing the amount of energy we're tapping into, and then I think things that we think of as miraculous can be done.
And going back to your life, because you speak about prana and the ability of extract.
So miraculous things can be done. And this is so true. And when we talk about pranic nourishment, we're inviting people to look at it, but not necessarily from the perspective of someone that is convinced that it is not possible, but from the perspective of someone that is open to new possibilities. When you open to new possibilities, indeed, miracles can happen. And miracles, to me, is just science that hasn't been discovered yet. So everything that is considered miraculous or unexplainable or impossible is actually eventually just science that hasn't been yet understood or studied. So that's why in the next few years we're aiming and hoping to go deeper into the study of it, to go deeper into the scientific research of it, to go deeper into monitoring the human body in a very specific way that shows people what can be happening, what is possible in our bodies. We're now living at a very minimum capacity in our field. We're not exploring, I believe, not even 20% of what our body can do. Our body is a spaceship. It's a fantastic biocomputer, if you will. It can run energy and operate with energy in ways that are very, very unrelatable now to some people. If you think that you're here just for, being born, going to school, falling in love if you're lucky, or having a marriage if you're not lucky, having children, going to work and then die, if you think that this is all that your body has been created for, then you're leaving a whole area of your awesomeness completely unexplored. You are living in a forgetting state. We, with this festival and with the conferences and with all that we do in this world, invite you to get out of this forgetfulness or of this oblivion and start living fully in your body, in your cells, in your organs, in your wholeness, so that you can experience the fullness of the divinity that you are. That's what we're inviting you with this conferences. That's what we're inviting you with this work and with spreading the world about the word about the infinite possibilities of the human body. And I trust that you can now, after this talk of almost 1 hour, have at least a sneak peek into this magical infinite possibilities world. And if you want to go deeper into it, we invite you to book your place for the full festival if you haven't. There's a link on our events page where it says it says Pranic Festival online. That's where you get access to all the live streaming by subscribing. But also you get access to the recordings, because maybe you won't be able to watch all of it in live streaming. We're streaming mornings and evenings in different schedules, and sometimes we just shift something instantly like we did today. So it's best to have access to all the recordings to be able to have the benefits of all this festival. And the link is in the comments as I presented it at the beginning. It's the links to our event page. You also find the link in the video page that you've had of the Pranic Festival. So if you're have just booked for the live streaming, you can book for the recordings as well. And there's also a link in the YouTube comments as well. So on that event page, you find all access to the Pranic Festival online, and you can benefit from all the conferences in this live streaming. I'm searching now to see if you have any new questions, and I'm heading towards the end of this gathering, and we're going to end this gathering with a beautiful meditation that we're going to have together. I was planning for the Tianyin meditation today, but we're beginning the festival with the Pranic meditation from me today. So just make yourself as comfortable as possible. Make sure that you're not being disturbed for about a quarter of an hour or 20 minutes, the next 20 minutes. Let your friends and family know that you're gonna have some time for yourself or some quiet time, and make sure you're undisturbed, because soon we're gonna go into this practice, this meditation, that is helping us receive more pranic intake, and it's also clearing and rearranging our fields. Before we begin that, we're also looking to see if there's any other questions or comments. Just place your final questions here if you have any, and then we're moving into meditation. Somebody says, when we sleep, we feel prana and energy restored, but on the pranic path or breatharian path, as you mentioned, you require less sleep. Can you please explain this further? I love your question. What's your name? I love your question, and I love that you thought of it. Actually, the reason we need less sleep is because we're highly energized all the time, and we are firmly connected to this source energy that's keeping us awake and nourished. But also, the reason we need less sleep is that people sleep normally to be able to go into the alpha theta state, right? People normally can't be in that state while they're awake, because normally in their awake state, people are in the beta brainwave state. So what I'm talking about here with the alpha, the theta, and the beta are the brainwave states of the mind. So the brain has been monitored, and it has been discovered that there are at least 4 phases or 4 stages of the mind or the brain. And one of those stages is the one that you're normally in, the agitated, making plans, trying to find solutions, calculating, sorting things out. That's the beta brainwave state. It's the most common in people. Then when you cool down a little, watch a movie, listen to some music, watch a sunset, then you go into the alpha state when you're a little bit more relaxed, when you're taking a bath or starting to meditate or do breath work. And deeper and deeper as you go into the theta state, which is the state almost between being awake and being asleep, where your mind is almost completely quiet. This is the state I'm working with during my therapies. This is the state I'm in. And you can have instant healing in this state. You can have instant manifestation when you do reprogramming or affirmation in that state. And this is the state that most pranic people are learned to cultivate in their lives. So most pranic people are staying in that state, in that brainwave pattern during their day-to-day life, without necessarily being asleep or in meditation. They're just in that state. And remember what I said in the beginning. I've said that people need to sleep to go into this state of theta. Well, for breatharians, for pranic people, that's no longer necessary. They have learned to maintain their mind into that state while they are awake. So most pranic people, the reason that they're nourished in this way is that they learn to maintain this theta brainwave pattern or this quiet mind state during their day-to-day life. So they're no longer agitating, they're no longer overthinking, they're no longer over calculating all day long. They just let things occur, they just let life flow, and their mind is mostly quiet, like the mind of a Zen master. And that's why if you're all day, every day, most of the day during this light sleep state, while being awake, you no longer need so much sleep. The sleep is required for your mind to rest because of the over agitation of the day, or to process, for your body to process some stuff like emotions or thoughts or food. When you no longer have to process all that all day long, you no longer have to process all that food, you no longer have so emotional upheaval to rest from, or you no longer have so many thoughts to process during your sleep, then you no longer need to sleep that much, because your mind is already rested and your body is no longer stressed. That's why breatharians now no longer need so much sleep. One, because they're in a peaceful state during the day and they're processing very little food, emotions, and thoughts, and because they are maintaining that semi-sleep or auto-hypnosis state, if you want, during their daytime. So as I was saying, now I'm not thinking when I speak, I'm downloading information. I haven't prepared the conference, so my mind is completely silent and my body is functioning over this energy where it's downloading and sharing this speech, right? So this is the theta state, the alpha theta state, where we're preserving ourselves most of the day. When emotional upheaval and agitation or some sorrow in our lives occurs, we might need a little more food and a little more sleep, and that's also normal. Or when the body is starting to heal something from very, very deep cellular level, we might need a little more sleep. So that's how we feel to answer your question. I hope this answered your questions accurately. Somebody's asking, can you work in theta brain state and be a software developer? I don't know. I haven't been a software developer, so I don't know what this entails. I know it's a lot of programming and calculation. To my experience, electronics and electronic devices are a bit challenging for the state, so it makes me tired to sit a lot in front of the computer. That's why I'm going to soon end this conference. But with more experience and training, I think you could. I think everything is possible. Many of my colleagues like Jasmine and Rima Orr and others are working with programming and software developing. Jasmine not anymore, but she was an IT specialist in the beginning of her Pranic journey. So yes, I believe it is possible. Yeah, everything can be possible, I believe. But it's good to spend a lot of time outside and to discharge that electronic energy from your body at the end of the software developing work as well. So this is what we're recommending. Another question that I see is what issues people would have if all the people in the world would be pranic. What issues would they have? That's an interesting question, right? Maybe there would be no issues, and maybe we should wait and see, because maybe there would actually be a happy world, a paradise on earth world. I'm not seeing my friends having many issues these days. You know, they embrace, my breatharian, my pranic friends, they embrace the life with joy and ease and grace. They become aware, we just become aware of why things are happening, and we just allow them to happen without fighting or challenging them. And the inner rhythm of emotions or mind upheavals that we call issues is highly diminished or even ceased completely. So I trust that there would be no issues, right? If people would become pranic. But again, one doesn't become pranic by stopping food intake. I'm just going to emphasize on that once more. One becomes pranic by learning to detox their mind, their body, their emotions, their mind, and connecting to source every day. So I think if we practice that every day, you know, this detox, this clearing, and this source connecting, I think the issues go away by themselves, even without necessarily stopping your food intake completely. So thank you for your questions. Okay, can you work in theta brain? This with software developing, I've answered already. Does anyone on Facebook have any questions before we complete, or anyone on YouTube? Because we're heading towards the meditation in the end. Anyone who's not in the festival yet can have also questions here. So ask me your questions if you want before we complete. And thank you for being here. Thank you, Ovidio and Anna and Dr. Nayak and everybody else, right, who's here. Yes, those of you who are interested in science, I see that there are some of you interested in science. You're going to have a link in the comments of a breatharian science playlist that I have done. So you can watch all that playlist at home, you know, with all the scientists that I've met and talked to about breatharianism. And you can enjoy that for a more science-based explanation. And hopefully the next few days, we're also going to have some scientists joining us. We've invited some scientist friends. We're waiting for the confirmations of them, but you have that playlist nevertheless to be able to get a glimpse into this breatharian science approach. Okay, and now that we're all ready and that there are no further questions, let's go into the deeper connecting to the pranic field. So I invite you all to start following your breath. Start following your breath. Start sensing and feeling that you're in a light column from the center of the universe to the center of the earth, all the way around and through you. Start sensing and feeling this column of light all the way around and through you with a diameter like your hand stretched out. It's like a cylinder of light with a diameter like a hand stretched out, that you're surrounded by and encompassed by. Every time you inhale this light, this energy, this chi from this column of light. Every time you exhale all the worries, tensions, concerns, everything that doesn't serve you, everything that's not beneficial for you, everything that's not for your highest good. So we're gonna slowly move into the theta state. So as you breathe in more light from this energy column around you. And as you exhale all the worries, tensions, concerns, thought forms, everything that doesn't serve you, everything that's not beneficial for you, just exhale them out in this column of light. Another deep breath in. Allowing more light into your body. And with a deep breath out, you release again in this column of light all the worries, tensions, concerns, everything that doesn't serve you, everything that's not beneficial for you, everything that's not for your highest good. All that you no longer need, that can be released, you just release it now. Just know that this column of light is pre-programmed to dissolve, transmute, transform everything that's not for your highest good. Again, another deep breath. We tune into this energy of the great central sun. You notice that you have a connection cable coming down from the center of the universe, from the heart of the central sun, straight down towards your top of the head and down into your heart. So every time you inhale this energy, this light from the center of the universe down into your heart. Through this connection cable. It's like you drink through a straw from the center of the universe, from the heart of the central sun, this energy down into your body. Another deep breath in. Feel this energy flowing into your head, into your neck, into your throat, into your heart chakra. Feel it as it flows into your heart, opening your heart. And feel your heart chakra like a big energy ball into the center of your chest. So when you inhale this energy from the center of the universe, through the top of your head, into the heart chakra, the center of your chest. When you exhale out all the worries, tensions, concerns, all that doesn't serve you, all that's not beneficial for you, all that's not for your highest good, everything that's not appropriate in this meditation now. Again, another deep breath in. And as you breathe in this light through the top of your head, through the center of your head, through the throat, down into your heart, you notice your heart chakra expanding, the center of your heart expanding. And with the inhale, you bring more light into the center of your heart. With the exhale, you exhale it out into the cells, into the organs, into all your auric field, and around you in the universe. So another deep breath in, bringing in more light into your body. And with the exhale, you exhale out into your cells, into your organs, into all your physical systems. You spread this energy into your auric field and out into the universe. So you see your cells lightening up with this energy, with this love that's coming out of your heart, that's coming down all the way down from the center of the universe. See your cells like little filaments letting up. See all your organs being nourished, energized. All your chakras opening up. See yourself nourished by this light. Let it flow all the way down towards the center of the planet. Through your feet, through your hips, through your feet, down towards the soles of the feet, down towards the center of the planet. Let it flow into the heart of Gaia, connecting to the heart of Gaia. Feel the heart of Gaia pulsating with this energy. And feel her, the heart of Gaia, sending love back to you through the soles of your feet, through the ankles, calves, knees, thighs, up into your hips, up to your spine, and through your spine up to your heart. And from your heart, all the way up through your spine to the base of the skull, and from the base of the skull all the way up to the top of your head. See, sense, or feel this energy coming up. Feel yourself opening up to it. And all your cells in your body are now connected to the magnetic field of Earth as well. Feel or sense how you're connected from above and below now. Both energies mixing into your heart, the one from the center of the universe, the heart of the central sun, and the one from the heart of Gaia. Feel or sense how you're opening up more and more to become a channel of energy, a transceiver of energy for this beautiful flow of light. We ask that only the beings of the purest light and love can be present energetically and telepathically with us now. Only the beings of the purest light and love can be present energetically and telepathically with us now. Only the beings of the purest light and love can be present energetically and telepathically with us now. We ask that through all the festival we are sharing divine self to divine self. We are compatible divine self to divine self, and we are harmonious and communicating divine self to divine self with each other and with all the speakers that are to come. And we ask that through our bodies we bring the new codes of harmony for the planet here now. Whoever is open for this, just say yes in your hearts. And with that, we complete and come back into our bodies. We feel the soles of the feet. We're present in our toes. We wiggle our toes. We feel the soles of the feet, ankles, calves, knees. We're present in our thighs, present in our hips, present in our lower back, abdomen, upper back, chest, arms. We're fully present in our neck, shoulder blades. We're fully present in our face, eyeballs, forehead to the top of our head. We're fully present here now. We're fully present into the room. We're back into the room. And I'm really grateful and happy to have shared all this with you. I hope to see you in the next conferences as well. If you're watching on YouTube, check this link that we've shared with you, so that you can join us for the next conferences, because we're having one or two or three conferences every day for this Pranic festival, and it's great to have live streaming access if you subscribe on our festival page, or have access to all the recordings as well. So come join that to not miss a thing, because as you see, it's such a beautiful sharing together. Thanks everyone for watching. Namaste to you all. And for those of you wanting to be with us in person, you have two opportunities in March. There's the Detox and Prana retreat that we do at the end of March, March 25th, that weekend, that we do here in Romania. You find it on our events page. And there's also online the Pranic consciousness process that you also find on our events page. So these are the two opportunities to work deeper with me in the next in this next month. And of course, you can have one-on-one sessions or a Pranic process one-on-one, which is an individual process, which we answer the type of questions that Heike was asking earlier. It's 7 sessions that we can do together, each session for about 1 hour or 1 hour and a half. And we bring new things to surface on each chakra. We work deeper. We help prana circulate there. We clean the blockages, the traumas, the memories imprinted at the energy level and at the cellular level, and we deprogram subconscious beliefs that are, causing blockages in your life. So this is what we're working with during the Pranic Process 101 and the therapy sessions. And the Pranic Process Online, it's a group meeting every evening where we have meditations and we talk about techniques, procedures, and practices to uplift your energy. That's how you can meet us. At the end of March, we do this retreat in person in the mountains of Romania. We visit energy vortexes. We visit the Romanian Sphinx, if the weather allows. And we go to specific energy temples, pranic temples, where pre-Christian sun worship rituals have been made, people connecting to source the way we did today, activating the pranic energy in them. Join us to any of this, and please join us to the continuation of the festival in the next few days. I'm going to just check schedule to invite you to the next conference, and see you soon whenever that is. So tomorrow at 12 p.m. we have 12 p.m. Romania time, we have a conference with Mantak Chia, a great Qigong master that is sharing his Pigu techniques, or his pranic energy nourishment techniques, and his energy practices with us. So stay tuned to watch that. And if you haven't subscribed already, go on our page and join us. Big hugs to all. Blessings. Happy to have been with you today. And thank you for your questions and participation. See you next time, whenever that is.